and thank you for being here today. My name is Andrew Smith, the MLA for Lagimodiere, and I'm pleased to be here with the Honourable John Reyes, the Minister of Economic Development and Jobs, and the President and CEO of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, Chuck Davidson. In the audience, I'd also like to welcome John Fair, the General Manager of Beaver Bus Lines, Joe Vodopivich, the President of the Manitoba Aviation Council, and Raquel Lincoln, the Executive Director of the Manitoba Aviation Council. I'd also like to take the time and the opportunity to acknowledge that we are gathered here today on Treaty 1 territory, the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Ojibwe, and Dene peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. I would be remiss, though, if I did not give a shout out to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, the defending Grey Cup championships. Let's give a round of applause to them. What a game that was. I know if you didn't have anxiety before the game, certainly during the game, particularly in the fourth quarter, would have been the time to feel very anxious. So congratulations again to the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, and what a game that was. Now I'd like to pass things on to Minister John Reyes. Minister Reyes, please take the podium.
Thank you, Andrew. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to my colleague, Emily Andrew Smith, Chuck Davidson from the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, John Fair from Beaver Bus Lines, Joe and Raquel from Manitoba Aviation Council for being with us today, and also to the bus operator owners in the back there who I met earlier this morning. It was a pleasure to meet with you this morning, hearing you out with respect to your business operations. As a government, we're here to listen. And today is an announcement that will benefit you all. We have to have a starting point here, and today we're here at Beaver Bus Lines. So as a previous small business owner myself, I know the many ups and downs that businesses face, meaning payroll, marketing, human resources. Small businesses wear many hats. The pandemic has shown you to be resilient, and I applaud many of you for being resilient and creative in your business operations. Since July, and stepping into my role as minister, I've made many announcements that are helping businesses here in Manitoba tackle those challenges created by COVID. I'm pleased to make another announcement today to help another important business sector in our province, the many charter transportation service companies based here in Manitoba. The companies provide travel services for tourism, school, and amateur sports, seniors clubs, and school tours. They have been significantly impacted by COVID-19 travel restrictions while doing their part to keep Manitobans safe. I am pleased to announce today that we are here to help them with the creation of the Manitoba Charter Transport Recovery Program. This is a $1.92 million program that will allow businesses to apply for funding to help offset some of the costs they have incurred over the past 20 months. Each charter bus and air service operator will be able to apply for funding to address cost related to maintaining, restarting, or ramping up operations that temporarily ceased or were significantly reduced as a result of COVID-19 related travel restrictions. My kids are both in school sports, and I appreciate the job these companies do in getting them to their destination safely. There are many parents throughout the province that feel the same as me and are just as grateful. We're excited to be able to watch our kids participate. We know how it benefits their lives now and in the long run. Last month, I had the amazing opportunity to fly up to Churchill along with Chuck Davidson to be on hand for the launch of the electric vehicle Tundra buggy. We flew there on a charter flight. It was one of the most amazing experiences in my life, seeing the polar bears in their natural habitat. I can't wait for more Manitobans to travel to Churchill, to go to fishing in a northern lodge, or to experience the Northern Lights, and I know today's announcement will help the charter services to make those experiences happen. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, Minister Reyes. And I'd like to invite Chuck Davidson, the President and CEO of the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce, to share a few words with us. Chuck?
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Minister Reyes, as well, for today. Thank you to all the bus operators, the air operators. They're here with us today as well. This is a big announcement. Throughout the course of this pandemic, we've dealt with a number of business industries and a number of sectors that have been significantly impacted as a result of COVID-19. But I can't think of any others that have been more impacted than these two. This isn't a case for a lot of other businesses have had that ability to adapt. They could move to, there's no pickup, there's no delivery, there's no online sales for this industry. This is an industry that has been forced to deal with what the pandemic has handed them. And I think the fact that we've seen the resiliency of this industry is important. And I think as well the recognition today by the province of Manitoba that this is an industry that needs to be supported. And it's an industry as well that's important to the Manitoba economy. These are businesses that move people. And over the course of this pandemic, that's been a challenge. But it's going to be important as we continue to get out of this pandemic that these businesses continue to be there. I can't stress that enough. So I really appreciate government's willingness to support some of those hardest hit sectors. It's something that we've said right from the beginning is there needs to be those continual supports. Today's announcement is a great part of that. The Manitoba Charter Transport and Recovery Program will help these businesses. It's not going to make up for all of the losses that they've gone through over the course of these past 21 months, but it will help them in their recovery as these businesses continue to move forward. So again, on behalf of these industries as well, it's been our pleasure. The government has been willing to listen, to work with. The development of this program is a signal of that, and it's important to these industries as well. And we appreciate that Minister Reyes has had that willingness to work with the industry and make sure that these industries will be stronger as we come out of this pandemic and have the ability to move forward. And it's great to be able to work with individuals like John Fair and what he's done with this company. And the challenges that they've had will be able to help be addressed as we continue to move forward. So thanks very much, and thanks for inviting the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce to be a part of this discussion here today as well. So thank you, Minister.
Well, thank you very much, Chuck. And this ends the formal portion of the event. So if any media would like to ask any questions of Minister Reyes or Mr. Davidson, now's the time to do so. Thank you so much for coming again.
Yes.
So I guess is there a ceiling as to how much money service can access, like say Beaver Bus Lines or any company?
Yeah, so just to let you know, we're very proud to ensure that there is, funding for these chartered operators. Just to let you know, with the programs that we've already had announced in the past, they've been very successful, and that will be administered by the Manitoba Chambers of Commerce and Chuck and his team.
I'm not too sure who to ask this to, but when will applications open and close?
Yeah, I think what we're looking to do is open the application process probably early in the new year. It'll be something that'll be easy for business operators to apply for. Yeah, this will be a process that will be run through the government as well, but it will be a process that's going to be simple for business operators to apply through. It'll be most likely open in early January as well, and hoping to get money into the pockets of these business owners as early as we can into the new year for sure.
Maybe I'll ask you the same question then, sorry, but is there a ceiling as to how much businesses can apply for?
I think what we've looked at right now in terms of the program we've put together is that there's an overall dollar figure that the government has committed to. We're looking at developing a program that would be scalable, because I think when you look at the bus operators and the air operators, they're all at different sizes. So it's not sort of a one-size-fits-all program for everyone. So we've been in negotiations and discussions with the province in terms of what that program is going to look like. But I think the fact we've got a good starting point for that is a good signal. But I think what we've always said with any kind of these programs is that they do need to be scalable to the size of the company. So a company the size of Beaver Bus Lines is much larger than other providers, and so that needs to be recognized when you're looking at support programs.
Yeah, and I guess, can you give an example of maybe some of the costs not covered by other relief programs that might be covered under this one?
Those are some of the details that are still being looked at, but there's ongoing costs that, when you're looking at programs that for startups, for getting buses back on the road, there are, obviously, costs that have to go along with things like insurance, with the costs of, getting upgraded. There's a whole raft of different metrics that we're kind of looking at putting into this operations in terms of what that's going to be. Those are some of the things that are still under discussion, but the whole goal for this is to, to help some of these businesses that have been challenged over the course of these past 21 months, putting dollars back into their organizations, into their operations.